allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Well, I'd like to start off the meeting by saying that there are some things that, such as people videotaping your meetings that maybe people don't like. And I said, geez, I can't remember what shirt I wore last meeting. So it turned out to be a good thing. Okay. We don't have any bid openings, but we are gonna put our bids out for April opening.
Okay. No, I got that on my agenda here too, so, okay.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to, while we're on
That's
this,
priority on my list here.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'll put the ad in on Monday.
Yeah, because they weren't coming due, they were about May 7th is the majority of that was, but we'll just group it all and get it back into order. I know we got a sync there with the sand bids and that, but we gotta get that back into.
Well, that's
so
why,
everything goes
yeah,
back, and it's good that we're doing it this way to get everything back. But we're gonna do an April bid opening, but what's gonna be our date on that? You wanna do a May date on that yet, or you wanna do an April date on
April
that?
10th is our next meeting, and I thought, unless there was some reason that we shouldn't do it then.
No, I don't care when you do it, I just wanna make sure
Alright.
when everything's gonna come to do it. Just cause your bid opening is April 10th, doesn't mean that your anniversary date has to be April 10th.
Well, you wrote most of the specs, I
Yeah.
believe, right? Because most of it pertains to you
Yeah.
with sand, blacktop, modified, et
Which
cetera, and
this
fuel.
year is gonna come a little tougher than last year, so.
Well, I understand that, so I would leave that, if the board approves, I would leave that at, your pleasure, how you write it. I mean, I would think it would pick up where last year's leaves off.
Yeah, about May 7th, so
Okay.
they're in a month ahead, so they gotta jump on it.
Yeah.
I think that's fair,
Does anybody in the board have anything?
Unless you wanna do it, it's tough to do it at the board meeting. It's always nice to have, when you award a bid, it's always nice to have a month head start on it as, for anybody. We always, like I said, they're basically May 7th. So that'd be April, their bid opening would be, well, like I said, that's a 7th, that's just because it was last year, May 7th. Okay, this year, I don't know what day it would be, but,
Well,
anyhow, if you wanna do effective, cause I need to know an effective date that you wanna do that.
well,
Because when I put the bid out there, it's gonna be a effective date
May 8th would be our board meeting,
next year,
this year. So whatever works for you, I would,
Doesn't matter, to me. Whatever the board's pleasure is, doesn't matter.
Signature one way or another, 1 month or,
Yeah, I don't see it as being.
if the county comes in with a lower bid, we can still buy off them a
Yeah,
month later.
sure.
Well, by rights, no matter how you do this, these people have this bid to May 7th. So you can't
The
do
current
nothing,
bid.
you can't do nothing till May 7th anyhow.
So it'll be
In
effective
reality.
May 8th then?
Well, you could, but you can't buy
Yeah,
nothing.
that's right.
You gotta buy
That's
from
right,
them.
that's right. You could adopt it next month if you want to, but you still have to stick with the old contractor until May 7th,
Yeah, yeah.
okay? Because you can't cheat them out of
And
that.
that's probably gonna be in our best interest as well.
So, we could do this, but give everybody a heads up, you wanna do this in May and keep the contract at about May, will be May 8th or May to May, whatever.
Effective May 8th. yeah.
May 8th, okay.
When is it going out?
Well, the notice could go in the paper.
The notice has to go in, it's gotta go 2 weeks before the town board meeting, so, yeah. So it's gonna go out,
And the bids, the
Next
bid
couple weeks.
packages would be
they're
available at
they're
the
available here at the
yeah,
shop, yeah.
superintendent's,
Okay, we're gonna do the May, anniversary date.
okay. Presentation, okay, correspondence. I have a couple of things. One of which is, towns of Calhoun, Coshocton, Delaware, Fremont, and the village of Jeffersonville. We're all gonna be meeting legislative chambers, on the, 20, 6th, with the IDA. Every several years, they look at the collective policy, quote unquote, with the IDA, which is rather interesting because we do have the Delaware Valley School in limbo right now. And I've not heard anything, but that's coming up. I had to file for an extension. I have a 60-day extension on our AFR, annual financial report. It's supposed to be in by the end of March. I have an extension till May 1st. Reason being, we were under audit from the state comptroller's office, and they had our records, so we were unable to get those out. Let's see. Okay. 2%. Oh, and Zurich policyholder, we have good news to share. Insurance company is our DBL insurer. They have put in for a rate reduction. It was about crap, I didn't write it down. I know I have a copy of the check. It's about $168. Nothing major. It was something we got back. And I filed a midterm progress report with UDC for our 2013 technical assistance grant, which is the Town Clerk Plus software program, which Mesa is working on through Williamson Law Book Company. And I guess you're just waiting to hear back from them.
They have to schedule a time to actually come. They're in Rochester, so they have to come from Rochester here to install it and then train me on it. So it's a logistical thing. It's not that big of a deal, but
Okay. All right. I had ProJan at the town hall today to look at flooring, finishing off the vestibule, and we were looking at putting possibly flooring through the whole building. That carpeting they put in 1996 or 7, I forget. It's quite old and pretty beat up. I talked to John about it. He had stopped, and there's a lot of big area there. We thought it might be cost prohibitive to do everything. So Jim McElroy and I met with Jim Shields from ProJan, and it's 3 things. The first of which is the vestibule in the addition, which is concrete now. He suggested putting tile down. You have a slate product similar to like a bluestone, which is what I wanted to do. You put it down, he said literally would be there forever. We're bringing in crap from off the driveway and whatnot, and especially, guys spread sand and whatnot.
We'll have to stop doing that.
Yeah, yeah, it could ice skate in, right? It's inevitable you're gonna track stuff in, even with the carpeting there. Today I brought too much stuff in, it's crazy. But we're looking at about $1,700 to do that, which is the vestibule and the hallway. The other facet of it would be was prior the assessor's office, which is now gonna be the code enforcement / planning board office. That carpet in there is beat up bad. And they have a vinyl snap together product that they could put in there, just over top of the carpeting even. Using the carpeting as like an underlayment almost, cause it's even though it's beat up, it's the adhesion is solid, it's not wrinkly. And they're looking at about $1,100 to do that. So you're looking at like $2,800 to do the whole thing. The third piece of it would be doing a professional steam cleaning of the carpeting that's there. Just clean it up and get the most out of it that we can. Any luck at all, I don't know if it'll be in my tenure, but would be, we'll replace that old section there and put a meeting hall or whatever. I have my own ideas about it, but it may not be me behind the steering wheel. So what I'm looking for is board approval to move forward on that. to put tile down in the vestibule in the hallway going to the new bathroom. And the assessor, or not the assessor, the code enforcement / planning board to put down new flooring in there. Like I
And then
said,
what are you gonna do with the rest?
just clean it.
You're just gonna
have
clean
them
it?
clean it.
Now, how much is that gonna be?
Probably $200, you know. That would be, I could even bring it to the next board meeting if it looked like it's gonna be substantial, because that would be the last thing. Because right now, as we speak, the reason that Jim McElroy's not here, he's over there painting that office right now. And he didn't have a whole lot to report on, so he's over there painting it right now as we speak. We worked on it all day today, trying to get everything open. The plumber's coming to do the plumbing for the new bathroom. So we moved stuff out, you know. And, you know, there's concrete floor now, it's there. We're not looking to make it fancy. We wanted to make it serviceable and respectable, you know, for our constituents and whoever comes there. I like the idea, and I hadn't even thought about tile really, you know, and Jim had recommended it. He said, you know, you put it down, you're done with it.
Do we have anything in our budget to cover it?
Yes, we do. We've received reimbursement for 2 grants that have come to us over the past 3 years. One of which was $3,200 and the other one was $10,800. I hate to call it found money. I don't want to throw it away, but it's not in the budget, and it is monies that were unanticipated. So it does exist.
I'll make a motion, we do it.
You're looking at what, yours, $3,000 tops.
Yeah.
Yes, to say, as a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
I'm abstaining, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't see putting any money in that old building. I can see putting money in the new building. That's a new building and we ought to finish that off. But putting money in that old shack is just money down the drain.
I don't disagree with you, Jack, but I think it's gonna be there a while.
Yeah, I'm looking at,
Well, let's be optimistic. Hope someday it gets replaced.
well, yes, and like I said, I don't know it's gonna be in my tenure. I appreciate your concern about that, and that's why we chose to just do that office there and not do the rest of it. It's, you know.
What's in the bathroom? I looked at it, I forgot. Is that tile down or what is in there now? The new bathroom?
It's,
Concrete floor?
no, they put down, some kind of a vinyl,
Yeah, there's something in there.
oh gosh,
It's not pergo,
it's
but it's
escaping me.
like that.
Yeah, it's a composite, it's a
So
vinyl
whatever
composite.
that's done,
That's done,
whatever's
it's
there, yeah, okay.
installed, it's installed.
Yeah.
That was done on the Renaissance project
Right.
money that we had gotten last
Right.
year. So, all right, I have, from what our supervisors meeting, periodically they come in with, different, speakers and presentations, and the one that they had the last time was a payroll service. Jefferson First National Bank of Jeff is working with a payroll service. Sounds pretty simple for us because we have 5 full-time employees, bi-weekly, 2 or 3 employees, monthly, another handful, and then quarterlies. But what the payroll service does is they also do all the reporting to disability, workers' comp. Well, workers' comp's not part of it for us, that's a little different, but withholding, federal, Social Security, Medicare, the whole thing. And they take care of it. What they push for is a direct deposit setup. I wanted to look into it. See, I tell you why, Sandy and I do it, the bookkeeper and I do it right now. It's not a real big deal, except for when I forgot to sign the foreman's check. And, you know, he had to call me. Things do happen. They do it, it's on a computerized thing, and they guarantee what they do. They back it up. I don't know, it may be cost prohibitive. I just wanted to see what the board's, I'm just polling the board, I'm
Well,
not
you
looking
can
for
look
a
into
motion.
it.
You know, I wanted to see what
It's
the
not
board
gonna hurt
thought.
nothing. Look into it.
See what kind of money we're talking.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cost prohibitive, you know, or if there are other pitfalls with it, you know. All right, bids for April. We need to adopt the fireworks permit, Jim McElroy came up with. We brought it up the last meeting, which we could have very well have adopted it, but we had quite a plethora of things on our plate already. Has anybody looked at it, have any, questions or objections to it from the board?
Not me,
Is that a proposal, or is that a permit they want, or is it a regulation we gotta?
It'd be adopting it as a permit that the town of Fremont would be adopting. It's basically, we adopted, we looked at it, he went through the town of Delaware, cause they have the Villa Roma. And he added into it, the town of Fremont as additional insured, to cover us for, I believe, $1 million, which I thought was a good practice, and so did the lawyer.
Yeah, this is just a one-time thing, or?
No, this would
It's not a
be,
permit.
this,
We're talking about something other than a permit here.
no, this is a permit that the town of Fremont would be adopting as our permit for the town of Fremont in the case that somebody holding a large fireworks display would acquire to do such a thing.
Okay, but I was just wondering what backs up the permit system. I mean, yeah, I guess it's,
Yeah. Can I have a, well, is anybody in the audience have anything to comment on this?
So I mean, if like the fire department decides to have a Fourth of July celebration and
Yeah.
wants to
Could
have
be like a
fireworks,
fundraiser,
they come to
yeah.
the town and they get a permit.
Yes, yes.
What is the cost of the permit going to be?
Oh. No, I feel silly because he told me it was $20 or something. It was very minimal.
It's under
It was
50, I think.
something to cover the time, oh crap.
My next question is, how are you going to notify all residents? This is a new permit and is required to be filed.
What's
How are you gonna notify people that you have a new permit on the books that needs to be?
It'll go on the Facebook page and it'll be posted,
Okay.
just like any other permit. You know, just like, because they are on the state level.
And on that permit, is the fire department have to sign off on it?
No.
Because there are areas that having fireworks is not necessarily a good thing, dry fields.
Well, there are certain times of the year that you can't use anything that's like an incendiary device or a fire, which is, right now is March 15th to May 15th.
Right.
So you have to, obviously with that, you would have to, all local laws other than this would apply.
Is there anything in there when they have high winds that they cannot do it? You know, if
There's
a high
only
wind
so far
advisory
we
is
can
placed-
go with that. You know, you could what if until whenever. During meteor showers, the third Saturday after the second snowstorm. You know, I get what you're saying.
And last year they
There's
did
a
it without a permit.
Well,
Yeah.
There was no permit to
Right.
do, so.
Yeah, exactly,
I
exactly.
mean,
You
there
know,
are several places that, yeah.
you know, it's, a lot of it falls on common sense in them as well, you know what I mean?
well,
So
the
they
state,
need-
the state maintains that you can't even burn garbage in your backyard or anything, so I don't know, you know, what do they say about that? I can't
This
have an
is
open
based
fire in
on
my
New,
backyard, so fireworks are.
this is a New
to
York
me.
State guideline that this was born from.
I'm just wondering, you know,
No, I understand.
it makes no sense.
No, pretty soon, I know, you won't be able to, yeah, they're gonna outlaw everything.
Got Jim back there.
George, will that eventually get on the website also with all the other permits and
Yes,
applications
oh,
and
absolutely,
things?
absolutely. Yeah, like with everything we adopt, it'll go on the website. Jim?
Yeah, does the permit require licensed pyrotechnic
Yes.
operators?
Yes, it's,
Okay.
they, authorized assistance operator, name of the certified pyrotechnician who will be in charge of the display, name, certificate number, and when it expires, and authorized assistance
All right.
too. So, yeah, it's a good question. Could I have a motion to
Yeah.
adopt?
I'll make a motion.
John,
Yeah.
second, Paul, all in favor?
All right,
Opposed? Okay, so carried. I don't believe we have any outstanding committees other than, well, the Renaissance, which, well, actually Don Downs is here, that would be, we're in that season. I saw your name in the paper, with, the Long Eddie stuff. Do you have anything, you'd like to present at this time?
Not really. I'm gonna talk to Jim McEachran,
Over.
McElroy, tonight because the application for the Southern Renaissance has to go in next week. So,
Okay, okay.
and I don't know how much what help I can give him and so forth. So
Well, any help would be
I might
greatly
check over it with him in a couple of minutes.
Good, well, we appreciate
Always
that.
my
We were
opinion.
talking about it the other day, because
Okay.
we have to get up on our re-beautification of the current project that we did. And I know there's some stuff that you were working on, so we discussed that over the weekend.
There's
So-
also the Jorkman Field and the Veterans Park added in that.
And that's all gonna be,
It's
Or
one project,
it's
yeah.
one project.
Jim said it's gonna be a category C project, which is the big money project.
Oh, boy, okay.
I was down in Middletown today looking at trees for the project.
Okay. And Doris, I know you would say that about, we're gonna change a couple of the poles, flag poles.
Hopefully, yeah.
And-
Actually, I think, Jim, they're gonna be short, the ones that are there are gonna be shortened to make them a bit stronger, and we're going to get a commercial high wind grade American flagpole put
Okay,
in there.
okay.
But,
Yeah,
a
I
little
missed the
additional
last.
planting and
Yes.
things to
All
that.
right. So we have both of you guys on board with this, though,
Mhm.
and we're gonna, okay, all right.
Need volunteers to work
Oh,
like you all
boy.
did last year.
Oh, boy, yeah, yeah.
John's
Okay,
eager.
and I did not
It
get,
was a lot of work
okay.
last year.
Yeah, it is, there's a lot to it, but it's well worth it, though.
It is.
In the end, it's well worth it. The community benefits in town, and it's a good thing. You have any new business?
yeah, well, this is old business, that, somebody brought up, about the ball field backstop down there,
Oh, that
which is
pole's
obviously
broken.
falling down.
Yeah, I spoke to Tom Hubert about that. I wanna look into poles or something there, yeah.
Well,
If
how
I
about
could
replacing
interrupt.
that backstop? I don't know how long it's been there, but I mean,
1967.
well, I think, you know,
A total replacement may be in the works.
yeah, I
George,
mean, we got
Part of that
kids,
is
kids
gonna be
playing
the
baseball
Renaissance
there, and
project.
that's
That's the main thing that they're gonna ask the Renaissance to replace,
pretty
is
risky.
the backstop for the
That
field
is
there.
part of, okay.
Yeah, and to remove the sign there by the wall.
Yeah, because that sign is shot, it just crumbled.
Yeah,
I was down
yeah.
there the other day, looking at it.
Yeah, maybe we can get a sign a little bit similar to the one we have to matchy, you know, that town-owned town.
But that thing, like Jack is talking about,
Yeah,
though,
it's bad,
that's,
it's bad.
that's a
Actually,
big
it
deal.
should be pulled down because it is quite a safety hazard now and the
It
liability
could fall on
for it.
someone, absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so in the backstop, that's quite a deal.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, backstop. All right. Oh, that took care of one of my things, good. And removal.
and there was that little church in Hankins that was willing to, you know, do something for the town.
Yes, yes,
So,
you had spoken to me about
that
that
might-
previously, absolutely. Yeah.
That might help with funds if necessary.
Okay, all right. Any new business? Under old business, Lori Birch called me tonight about Smith Lake Road and the abandonment of the end there, and the guy's name escapes me, we both talked to him. What we had discussed, we talked about this. As far as abandoning that's fine, but if we do that, we really need to get something out of it, because they are gaining to the value of their property, whatever. But we also then, like you had said, you're backing out of there, right? When you plow into there?
I'm not going that far.
You aren't. Okay.
You
So-
can't go that far with a truck.
So then it's a moot point then.
Let me tell you something, if they want to abandon it, have them sign the paper as quick as possible.
We're gonna,
I don't know
okay.
if you know what that looks like.
Yeah, I
It goes
was
like
up
this
there.
and it goes just like this.
Right down.
Let me tell you something, you better have, one of them ampy cats or some nice egg cats, cause you ain't getting in and out of there.
Well, I was wondering how far out they came though. Where we stopped is
Where
already.
we stop, we back in there, I backed in there the other day, you know, and I back up to where they have the logs across, and I backed in there, I drop my plow, and I come back out, you know.
Okay.
We have a low spot, we have to back in there anyhow. Fung will be our last person on the list there.
Okay.
Okay, and you can't turn around in Fung's either, you gotta, there's a turnaround there prior, you gotta either drive in and back out, or I back in and drive out.
All right. So we're already not going that far.
Correct.
So then you-
We've never went that far.
In your
In 30
recommend-
some years, we've never been that far.
okay. So in your recommendation then,
It'll
for
be good
us
for the town.
to do it, it's a good thing.
Yes.
To have Mesa put in a public hearing notice for April 10th, would be all right.
The guy sends me a letter because he doesn't want me in there anyhow.
Yeah, he
because-
called me actually. I
Yeah,
spoke
and
to
he
him.
sent me a letter. Nice guy. sent
Real
me a
nice.
letter.
Yeah, I was on the phone for 40 minutes.
And you get in there, you might be there for a while. It's gonna cost you more and whatever than it is to get in and out of there.
Okay, then not a problem. Anybody on the board have anything to comment about that? No? Okay. All right, I guess I basically covered, what I wanted to go over. Basically, the progress report on the building, like I said, Jim's over there painting right now. The plumber's coming tomorrow, we should be able to hook up the bathroom, the new handicap bathroom, and now with the flooring in place, we will have not that we didn't have an operational building before, but it should be pretty well completed, and then from there, we can go into another Renaissance project, which will be a good thing. I had been quizzed by a couple of folks on the town, appointed, one elected, about a credit card for the town. I'm not gonna push that tonight. I wanna call the comptroller's office. I'm kinda uneasy about it. Because there are many times when we do order and do stuff from outside, if we don't have an account with them. And there's been a couple of times, like with the tax collector, where we were kinda pigeonholed where we had to get stuff, you know, that came up, you know, because of our change of tax collector, where we had to get things, and, you know, if we had a credit card, we could have went online and really expanded our purchasing power. But I gotta check with the comptroller's office on that. I'll bring that back next month. Highway superintendent.
Yeah, a couple of brief things here. I've been on the phone with Jim over there in Muscadet about the spillway. Okay, this is moving forward. Okay, he contacted the residents that everybody's going to chip in, or he put out notices. He said his response was very good for a new spillway to be put in Muscadet. Okay. Probably people ain't gonna be happy for a year, but I guess it has to be done, it has to be done. You're gonna do it now or you're gonna do it later. Because DEC is down there, so pretty good. But we're gonna have to put a deck across it, you know, of course. But they're also looking for a way out of there. So they're looking into going around the property in back of them, okay? Because they own the land evidently in back of the lady there. So they're looking into putting an emergency access in there. They have 18 months to do this. They'll be back when he said he'll be to a meeting here this summer about it. But I just want to keep everybody up to date that this Muscadet project did not fall between the cracks. You know, me and Jim, we've been on the phone, you know, probably at least once or twice a month over this to try to make sure we got the right handle on this. You know, to put a deck across the bridge, a spillway, I don't think it's so terrible. It has to be done anyhow, so we'll just wait. We got this one blocked as it is. So we up to date on that. And I guess my only other things, remember we got the mowing down to the ball field and that. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do with mowers. I know, I'm either gonna have to replace my tractor this year, like I discussed last meeting for the town road, so, we have to work this out, what we're gonna do, where we're gonna spend our money, if we're gonna spend it on a mower for there, or we're gonna spend it for a road mower.
What's the
A
problem
road
with-
tractor, I should say.
What's the problem with that, I know there's the two of them there, there's that Massey and then the Ford. What is the big problem with it? Just getting tired, motor, tranny, what?
Well, the Ford, like you said, you're talking a 1940, 50 tractor, you know. Let me tell you something, I think she's done her work. We've done the motor over a few times. And it's just getting to that time that it's, just, you know, you go out there, you wanna get work done today, or you wanna sit there and not do nothing all day? You wanna pay your men to do nothing, or you want it to work? So I guess we're gonna either buy a machine that's gonna do some work for a day, or we're gonna sit around all day, I guess, I don't know.
So the
But-
Ford is the tired machine?
The Ford's old, she's tired, she's, you know, we're holding it together, spitting chewing gum, you know. In reality, I think it's a little sad that we're in the day and age we're in, and we're running stuff like that, but it is what it is, you know, trying to keep costs down and everything else, and
So your
we're gonna
thought,
probably start out the beginning of the year with it somehow or another, but she's getting old, you know.
so your thought is that you would use the Massey on the roads?
Well, I would take the tractor, because I can't be pulling, mowing this ball field, I can't be, you know, it takes it, by the time, and it sounds stupid, because it's not that big, but by the time I mow here, and by the time I mow down there, I got a guy or so, by the time, if you're doing any weed whacking, you took the whole day, because you're pulling machines from all over the place, and first of all, we don't have enough guys, so to do the mowing, I gotta shut the whole crew down on a Friday, just to do our mowing, okay? And it all depends on the weather, you might not do it on a Friday, you might do it on a Thursday. You know, we don't have a crew, you know, we're not the county, we don't have crews to do all this stuff for us, so.
Do you think it would pay for the town to look into maybe contracting with somebody to do the ball field? Because I
Not at
realize,
all.
well, you know what I'm
We don't have a mower
saying.
for here either, so you're gonna have to do something.
Well, I know,
Because this
and I'm
mower,
thinking of
we
that.
held together, that was a lawn tractor bought back, actually, the Little League bought it.
In the 80s, right?
And an old Agway, that was back in 1986 or something
Yeah.
like that. And we kept that together for so long, and the next thing, the deck was so bad, and somebody's gonna get hurt, and I'll tell you the truth, you don't need that on your hands.
No.
So that was the end of that. So this year,
That
it's a
I
whole new
understood.
ballgame. Whatever you wanna do, you're mowing, contract it all out, ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Well, what I was looking into was maybe a zero turn with a 5-foot deck on it. You could zip through, but then you're taking one of the highway guys away from the highway duties, really. And, you know, we obviously have to maintain that ball field. But I don't know if it'd be cost prohibitive, but I didn't know, you know, what you thought about that if we.
If they're gonna do that, have them do it all, because there ain't no sense of doing one part of this thing. If you're gonna contract, and contract the whole thing. Doing the ball field is, you still gotta do here. It doesn't matter. It sounds stupid, but you gotta pull guys off. If you pull one guy off a team, you shut the whole team down, because I ain't got enough to run 2 teams. I only got 5 guys. I can't even get 2 teams together, for crying out loud half the time.
Mhm,
You need 6 guys for 2 teams,
mhm.
and you only got 5, so I'm not on their favorites list right now, so.
Time-wise, how long does it take to mow the area up here, not down the ball field, but here?
Hour. But you gotta realize, that hour, it's not just an hour here, it's the whole thing. So an hour is gonna turn into more than an hour, because now I gotta get a guy back there to do it, okay?
And it's probably half a day down there, I bet.
And down there, by the time you get done running around and everything else, moving the tree, it's, yeah, you spend, I shut a crew down for half a day, 3 guys to get this done, and it comes tough. You know, they gotta be on their game, they can't, you know.
Well, what does the board think about investigating, we don't have to hire anybody, getting some proposals
get some prices on the mower, see what it costs.
Well, you had, yeah.
All right, so we'll get mower. In the meantime, I'll ask a couple of the guys in town that mow what they're looking at. It might be, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a couple $100 a pop,
Oh,
which is
heck
gonna
yeah.
be, you know.
Oh, it will be.
But in the same
Oh, it's gotta
time,
be.
if you're taking one of the guys on the
You
highway,
mow,
You gotta spend all day doing it.
yeah, it's quite a
You mow,
thing.
you mow and weed whacking every day.
Sure, absolutely. All right, mower price. What else you got, Joe? I'm sorry.
No, that's pretty much, I guess that's pretty much it.
Well, the bridge is a big thing, and that's.
Yeah, well, I just wanna keep you in tune on that bridge, cause, me and Jim Anderson just talked again, and, you know, they're going forth on this, you know, and when they do it, you know, it's gotta be done within 18 months. And
So we
they'll
gotta be
be
on
to the
board.
board meeting, I guess, he told me during the summer or whatever. They're not gonna start this year, I wouldn't believe, it'll probably be next year when they start, but I don't think they got their ducks in a row yet, they don't have permits or anything else, so by the time they get permitting in that, if they start, it'll be late, which would be not profitable, so when they start, they're gonna start in the spring, is what he's telling me, so it'd probably, if anything, it's gonna be next spring. But we wanna make sure that, like I said, decking on the bridge is not that terrible in reality.
So you're looking at replacing what's there?
Yeah, we
Shut it
pull
down,
that
pull it
deck
off.
out, of course, we gotta put new beams in it because their decking's gonna be different widths. So we gotta put all new steel in it anyhow, so it doesn't really matter, you might as well, if you're that far, you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right. They got a brand new, and that'll last my lifetime, you know what I
And we'd
mean?
be doing it to their specs based on their engineering?
Well, yeah. They're using Illing as an engineer, and I spoke to Illing back and forth. Of course, me and Jim both disagree on some formats he has set up for that, but me and Jim are also gonna talk to DC about that, because there's a few things I'd like to see done. And he agrees with my proposals on them that I would like to see happen when they do that.
Okay.
They're saying about draining the whole thing down, and with that, you can have a mosquito nest, but I don't think they have to drain the lake, but, yeah,
Boy.
that's Illing's saying to drain the whole thing. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that scenario. It's like the county, they didn't drain that lake, and there's no reason to drain the whole lake for it, you know
They
what I mean?
could
They can
pump
do the
around,
same
you're
thing.
not talking about a huge amount of.
Yeah, that's right.
Of flow there,
right.
no, it's not a big
Yeah,
watershed.
it's not like Tenata Lake. Of course, whatever Tenata Lake gets, Muscadet gets plus what they get. So I know it's a little more flow in Muscadet, but I still have some ideas that I'd like to throw past them because I think we could dance around that a little bit and maybe dig an overflow pipe or something in it for now, just to keep the lake in and just keep the water down just maybe a little bit, you know. And well, we're on that story about that. I do have one more thing. This year, we have to replace the pipe on Hess Road. Okay, so that I'm gonna be looking into, getting a hold of Shimong and getting a price on a pipe.
Is
for
that down by Reimer, or?
No,
bottom?
well, on the other side, yeah, well, Reimer's Farm, no, it's Peters's. On the other side, past Carriers down there, in that hole.
Oh, you're going way down,
Yeah,
oh, on the
yeah,
bottom
right,
where we
yeah,
turn around.
yeah,
Ooh,
right
that's
there.
that's a big box.
Yeah,
culvert there,
that's a
yeah.
big, it's a big oval pipe in there, basically.
Yeah,
But it's got a stone bottom, and that's gonna be the kicker. That's actually, it's gonna be a little tough, but,
Okay.
it sounds easy, but, to get a pipe to get in there, because we can't dig that out of there. If I could've done something different, I could've made some changes, but, I can't, because I believe there's a stone ledge in there. I've looked at it a bunch of times, and that's why the old timers put that pipe in there the way they did, because
They cut the bottom out and dropped it.
well,
on the ledge.
it's kind of a flat bottom pipe, you know, so we
Yeah.
got to get something in there, but we're gonna have to replace that pipe. And as soon as I get a piece of spring break, and I want to get a pipe in there, you know, I want to get that before we have a road collapse. And it was bad. I've been crossing my fingers all winter on this, and because there is no bottom there. The sides are there and the top is there, but that's it. And she's got a dip hole in the one end, and it's been there last year. It's getting worse. We keep filling in and praying that it'll go a few months, so just to let you know about that.
Okay.
Hopefully next meeting I should have a number on you. For
Okay.
that pipe.
All right. Is that something Soil and Water would be able to help us out with, maybe?
Soil and Water's not doing this anymore. Oh, by the way, we got paid for Soil and Water,
Yes, I know.
just so everybody knows.
We got a couple thousand
I-
over as well, right?
Yeah, we got, because I submitted I submitted everything I put in there. They didn't, of course, they didn't take care of everything, but they gave us another $3,200 over top of the cost. So it helped for the crush run or whatever else we put in there, some other materials. So that was great. I was happy with that in reality, But they're not doing that this year. So,
I had a feeling that was coming.
well, yeah, just kind of
States
did
broke.
everybody.
Okay, town clerk. You have anything?
I got a letter from, to inform me that the Long Eddy Hotel and Saloon will be renewing their on-premise liquor license. The new license will be issued April 1st, 2013. The Long Eddy Hotel is located on 7 Depot Street, Long Eddy, New York, 12760. On-premise licenses are required by the Alcohol Beverage Control Law, Section 64, Subdivision 2A, upon receipt of renewal application for license to sell alcohol. So, Lana, I received it. If there's any problems, let me know, but I'm filing it.
I make a motion, the clerk receives and file.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Code enforcement, we did the fireworks permit. Jim has a couple of things in the works, one of which was a stop work order on a house that started without a permit on Lake Onawanda. How foolish those folks were, I don't know. He had 4 phone calls by the time the sun had come up. We also have the ZBA issue with that, which Mr. Reinhardt, Chair, will talk about. Other than that, we have a couple permits for new homes in the works, which looks good. Assessor is going to be out doing field work. He told me tentatively we're about on 400,000 we added this year so far. Planning board, Jim Smith called me a little while ago. They'd done a training waiver when Lenny was chairman. The state is pushing for training, which obviously they're pushing the state's agenda, but you also have the option to have a waiver, which they had done. We do have a new planning board member who is actually in the business of training planning boards, who's Brian Brussman. So they're looking at doing some in-house stuff. And the only thing they have on the table for this month is somebody had requested putting a couple of campers on a property of which the town's not crazy about. It doesn't necessarily meet with our zoning, so that's being addressed. And that would bring us to the ZBA.
We're going to have a continuation of our January meeting in March 20th, which is next Wednesday. And hopefully that will be finalized then.
Yeah, it's a continuation of, yeah, okay.
Did the planning board elect a chairman?
Yes, Jim Smith. Yes. UDC.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of the UDC, Upper Delaware Council. They've been substantially, financially pretty good to us over the years. We've had about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, about a dozen requests, tag grants, and they've approved pretty much all of them. A lot of these projects that we got money for wouldn't have been done without this money, because as everybody knows here, we're pretty tight with a buck in Fremont. But we've got over $27,000 to date, and we've done a great deal with it. Updated the town zoning. Well, the software that Mason's talking about was paid for by a grant from the Upper Delaware. And you know, there's a lot of stuff that was done over the last 20 years here, that because we weren't in it right from the inception. But even the website, workshops, software, development of the town comprehensive plan, we got $5,000 for that. So some of these were pretty big, 4,000, 3,900, 3,200. They were pretty big chunks of money, and we got as much as we could out of those grants. So we appreciate that. And they're making plans to celebrate the 25th anniversary with the usual stuff. Well, not quite the usual stuff. They're talking about having a road race someplace. I don't know. I don't think they've decided quite where yet. And also the usual hats and T-shirts and all that good stuff. So I'll tell you more about that next month, because it'll be more finalized by then. So that's about all I got for being up for Delaware for this month.
Okay, legislator. Is that crickets I hear back there? Okay, is Chuck Papa here? Senior report. All right, we're gonna move on to public comment. Anybody have anything? Kate?
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know that, as we all know, that they're thinking of putting a compressor station on Hungry Hill, which is in the town of Hancock, but it's right outside of Long Eddy. And the FERC has put out, as of March 1st, an environmental assessment, and they're giving the public a month to write comments, so you have till April 1st. If you want to write a comment, you do an e-file to, it's called e-filing at ferc.gov, so if anybody needs that information. And one other thing, I was wondering, last month when you guys did your resolution on the New York Safe Act, did you any of you get the letter from the New York State Sheriff's Association?
Yeah.
Did you see any of that? You did get that?
I just got it from, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Since then. Yeah.
Did anybody want a copy? It's a really good letter.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they had problems not with all of it, but some of it. I'm sorry, the biggest thing is that they weren't consulted even.
Right, and I agree. I just thought it was a pretty well-written letter. They said there are a number of provisions in the law which our association finds to be helpful to law enforcement, and then they also said there is a number of provisions which cause them concern. And the letter really explains everything really well. And you know, I mean, I wasn't up on the law. I mean, even though I've had a hunting license since I was 19. I'm around guns and this stuff, but I haven't really didn't make myself aware of the New York Safe Act, and this really helped me to sort of understand it.
I appreciate that.
Like,
Well, the big thing.
the restriction on, the stuff that they liked about it were the restriction on FOIL requests about pistol permit holders, the killing of emergency first responders, National Instant Criminal Background Check System, the comprehensive review of mental health records, the storage of firearms, penalties for illegal use, and the stuff that they would like to work with, I guess, the governor's office to change have to do with the assault ban on assault weapons, the inspection of schools by state agencies, reduction of ammunition magazine capacity, 5-year certification of pistol permit status and registration of existing, sale of ammunition, law enforcement exemptions to be clarified, method of bill passage, and the sheriffs understand their constitutional obligations, which they say that sheriffs and other law enforcement officers are not called upon by this legislation to go door to door to confiscate any weapons newly classified as assault weapons, and will not do so. So I thought it was very informative.
Absolutely. Doris.
Just a couple of things. One thing on that, the Sullivan County does have an opt-out form at the county clerk's office for pistol permit holders. If you want to opt out from public going in and getting your information, what type of guns you have, you can fill out a form and they'll put that on file and the judge will sign it if he deems it appropriate. But it is available in the county because right now, any information that you have is public record and anyone can access it with a FOIL request. So that is a nice opt-out for the county, for what the county is doing for its pistol permit holders. I didn't hear any minutes at the beginning of the meeting. Were there no minutes to be reviewed?
I had the flu for 3 weeks, and then I had a little malfunction with my stuff, so they just got it, so they're gonna review them and we'll do it next meeting.
Okay, it was just odd that they weren't there in the beginning. Also, last month you had a resolution for the county's hazard mitigation plan, and me being the reader of all these boring things, I went through and read it. And it talked about the emergency management plans that some towns have, and I went and found the town of Fremont's emergency management plan, and it says that you're supposed to yearly review that and update it in February. And the time that I've been here, I don't know that that's been done since 2006. And is that something that you plan to put in the works for this year?
That's a good question, because I just came across our, it's part of NIMS, and I found we all had to be certified in that part of the Homeland Security. So that's a good point, and I'll look into that this month and have an answer, or we will update it. I don't think there'll be a whole lot changed in it, but that's a valid point. I appreciate that. Okay, does anybody else have anything? All right, we'll make a motion to, somebody make a motion
Yeah.
to adjourn to pay bills.
I will.
And we thank you all for coming.